I can hardly believe it's almost 2025. And I know a lot of times we talk about new year, new me, and New Year's resolutions. And I don't think those are necessarily bad things. However, I do think that many times we do ourselves a disservice because we don't really think about the good, the wonderful, the positive things that maybe we've done that carried us through a year that we want to continue into the next year. And maybe, yes, we want to grow and expand on those things. So today, we're not going to talk about New Year's resolutions. I'm Kim with Dream Your Reality Creative Studio. And today we're going to talk about 5 things I want to continue to do in 2025, this new year. And I really hope you'll share in the comments things you want to do in the new year that you've done this year and you want to continue because they've been really great for you. So let's talk about it. The first thing I want to talk about that I plan to continue to do in 2025 is creating art. And whether that be painting or collage, jewelry, I also want to try some new things, or whether it's creating the spaces in my home to be artful. Design to me is also creating art. And so I want to continue to do those things in 2025 and expand on those things. I'd also like to help some of you create your own spaces. And if you remember in one of our last videos, I talked about 5 ways to create healing spaces, and including art was one of those ways. So for me, it's not just including art, but it's also making art in spaces so that you can relate to that art and it really feels like home. So that's number 1 on my list for today. The second thing I want to talk about that I want to continue in 2025 and also grow is having big faith. So I have a lot of faith. I talk to God a lot. In fact, the 2 people, if you will, that I talk to the most are God and myself because I talk to myself, which apparently is a really great thing. So I want to continue in 2025 to have big faith and to continue this journey and this faith walk that God's got me, that I'm following the path that I'm supposed to follow to help others, to make impact, to put art and creativity into the world, to teach and to do all of the things and use the gifts that I was given. That's number 2. The third thing I'm going to continue in 2025 is experimenting. I mean, I feel like there's no way for me not to do that. It's apparently in my nature. So experimenting in my design, in my artwork, in my life, just trying new things, seeing what works, seeing what fits. I want to continue to experiment, not just for myself, but to also show you that sometimes when you just go for it and you do something out of the box or something that you thought maybe wouldn't work at first, it works. And sometimes it doesn't. And that's why it's called an experiment. So that's the third thing I want to make sure I continue in 2025. Something else I want to continue in 2025 is integrating sustainable practices into my design and decorating. I've been thrifting for over 30 some odd years. I started when I was about 13. And so it's really already a part of my life, and I just want to continue to do that. So I believe in thrifting, upcycling, maybe doing things yourself when you can. I'm not saying everything I use is necessarily a sustainable thing, so I'll also get better at that. But using secondhand furniture, secondhand clothing, things like that really do help. And also Things made many years ago, oftentimes, obviously, they're still here, so they've lasted this long, and they were just made better, if we want to be truthful and honest. And they will not be in a landfill. So I want to continue that practice. I want to get better at that practice and see other ways that I can integrate sustainability in my design and decor. The fifth practice that I want to continue in 2025 is being a reflective person. Now, that's not just reflecting once a year at the end of the year to see all the good, the wins, the things that can be changed, although it is a good practice to do that at the end of the year. But if you're a reflective person, you're continuously following that process and that cycle of reflecting, seeing what went well, being happy about the wins, and then seeing things you would like to improve upon. So as a reflective person, as I've said, you do that continuously. An example for me is whenever I teach a class, I reflect after that class. Reflection doesn't always have to be 10 minutes or 30 minutes or 5 minutes. You can reflect in 2 minutes or so, and then you could later take a longer time if you need to process it more. But I promise for me, being a reflective person is so helpful because it helps you really see yourself, and it also helps you be able to impact others more because you're really looking within and you really know yourself. Thank you for joining me today on our short talk. I hope that I've inspired you to think about some things that you want to continue in 2025. And if you feel comfortable, I'd love to see you share them in the comments. If not, you could just keep them to yourself, but I really hope this is something that you decide to do. And I'm gonna give you a bonus. And that is what I always say. I'm not much of a gambling person, but the one thing I'm always gonna do is bet on myself. So yes, I'm going to continue to do that in 2025. And I hope you decide to bet on yourself as well, not just in this decorating journey, but on your life's journey. So with that, I will see you in 2025. See you later.